In a world that so often feels completely divided, what if there was this ancient vision of, well, radical global unity? Today, that's exactly what we're exploring. This really powerful image from the book of Revelation that shows a massive crowd from every single nation, all brought together. So let's dig into what this vision actually means and where it even comes from. Okay, so this right here, this is the core image that everything else revolves around. I mean, just picture it. A crowd so huge you literally can't count them, drawn from every nation, every tribe, every language you can imagine. And the text makes it super clear this isn't about everyone becoming the same. No, it's about all this incredible diversity finding one single unified purpose. This one verse sets a pretty dramatic stage for a much, much bigger story. So here's what's so fascinating. The source material doesn't present this vision as some brand new idea. Instead, it's framed as the grand finale to promises made centuries before. It's like the culmination of a thread woven through several ancient prophecies. So come on, let's trace that thread all the way back to the beginning. Our first stop is the book of Daniel, and the prophecy here is, wow, incredibly specific, but also super broad. It talks about a day when all people, nations, and languages would serve one single authority. You can totally see how this lays the foundational stone for that all-encompassing global vision we see later in Revelation. Next up, we jump over to the prophet Isaiah, who uses this beautiful, really poetic metaphor. He sees all nations flowing toward one central point, kind of like countless rivers being drawn into a single massive ocean. It's this idea of an irresistible, almost magnetic pull that brings everyone together. And then Zechariah picks up this exact same theme. The text describes survivors from all the nations making a pilgrimage to worship together. So you see the pattern, right? From Daniel to Isaiah to Zechariah, the source texts are building this really consistent picture, a future where all our human divisions are just overcome by a shared purpose. Okay, but this raises a huge question, doesn't it? How could a gathering that's so radically inclusive ever actually happen? Well, according to the source material, the answer lies in a single, really powerful metaphor: an open door. So, how does this work? In this theological framework, the key is the figure of Jesus. He is presented as being that open door, the one pathway that makes it possible for anyone, from anywhere, to join this gathering. In this view, all the things that might typically divide us, like our background or nationality, they're just not barriers to entry anymore. And the source material points right to this direct quote from the Gospel of John to make its case. The statement, "I am the door," isn't interpreted as just a nice metaphor, but as the actual mechanism for this universal invitation. And notice the wording, "if any man enter in." The emphasis is clearly on universal access. The door is wide open for everyone. We can actually break this whole concept down into the simple three-step path you see here. Step 1, establish who the door is: Christ. Step 2, the universal invitation. Anyone can enter. And finally, step 3, the outcome for those who walk through is salvation. It's a way of making a pretty profound theological idea very direct and really accessible. All right, let's circle back to that initial vision. Remember that little detail about the huge crowd being clothed with white robes? Well, this isn't just a fashion choice. In these texts, symbols are absolutely packed with meaning. So what's the deal with the white robes? Okay, so the interpretation is that these white robes are just loaded with significance. On one level, sure, they symbolize purity and victory, but most importantly, they represent a kind of righteousness that isn't earned by the person wearing them. Instead, it's described as a gift, something granted through the Lamb, which is a title used in these texts for Jesus and his sacrifice. And believe me, this isn't just a one-off symbol. The idea of white garments being a sign of divine approval is woven through the entire book of Revelation. It's promised to the faithful, it's given to martyrs, and of course, it's worn by this great multitude. That repetition, it's on purpose. It really hammers home just how central this symbol is to understanding who these people are. Okay, so we've looked at the ancient prophecies, we've walked the pathway through the open door, and we've decoded the symbolism of the white robes. Now let's put it all together and see the full, amazing picture that the source material is painting for us. So here it is, the ultimate takeaway. All these different threads we've been following, the ancient prophecies, the open door, the symbolic white robes, they all converge on this one powerful idea. The vision is of a massive, diverse human family united not by erasing their unique identities, but by finding a common purpose that's bigger than all of them. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative final question to think about. In our modern, often fractured world, what is the value of a vision like this? What does it mean for us today to even contemplate this idea of ultimate unity across all the lines of nation, culture, and language? It's a powerful thought to end on. Thanks for digging into it with us.